For months, people have treated attacks on Canada's Jewish institutions as though they were primarily a Jewish problem. Synagogues were riddled with bullets, yet it's just another story that most Canadians can safely ignore. But this week's announcement from Toronto police suggests that there may be a much bigger story hiding beneath the surface. Police now say that investigations into the synagogue shootings, the shooting at the U.S. Consulate in Toronto, and multiple other incidents across the Greater Toronto area are connected to a broader pattern of young people being recruited to carry out acts of violence through encrypted online messaging platforms. More importantly, police say they are still trying to determine who is directing and financing these attacks. What we do know is that the shootings began almost immediately after the killing of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khomeini and the outbreak of direct war between Iran, Israel, and the United States. We also know that among the targets were institutions associated with two of Iran's most prominent adversaries, Israel through the proxy of the Jewish community, and the United States in the form of its diplomatic facility. The timeline is striking. Khomeini was killed on February the 28th. His death was publicly confirmed on March the 1st. A shooting targeting an Iranian dissident-owned business reportedly occurred that same day in Toronto. Within days came the synagogue shootings, then the attack on the U.S. Consulate. Do we know if these events are connected? No. Can we be certain of the motive? No. But the pattern is worth examining, and we do know that police are treating these incidents as part of a broader network. But the question remains of who is orchestrating and funding these attacks. Until that question is answered, Canadians should resist the temptation to view these attacks as isolated incidents or as someone else's problem. If foreign actors are recruiting young Canadians online to carry out acts of violence on Canadian soil, this is not merely a Jewish issue. It's a Canadian national security issue. The emerging picture remains incomplete, but the fragments we can see are troubling enough that they should concern every single Canadian. Because what may have begun as attacks on Jewish institutions could ultimately prove to be warning signs of a much broader threat.
Through encrypted messaging apps, young people are hired to carry out attacks against various targets.